بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعزائي طلبة وطالبات شهادة الثانوية العامة قسم رياضيات لغات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اليوم سنتناول متابعة على مراجعة على الوحدة الأولى والثانية في الجبر'أ and solid geometry. طبعا احنا عارفين الوحدة الأولى مهمة جدا جدا في السوليد جيومتري، لأن هي بتناقش السفير equation of sphere والفيكتورز. طبعا احنا خدنا فيكتورز قبل كده في سنه ثانيه ثانوي، فالفيكتورز دي في فرق بين السكيلر فيكتور والبرودكت فيكتور، وعرفنا ان في ريليشن بين السكيلر اند برودكت او فيكتور برودكت. Today we are taking new lesson is follow about revision in algebra and solid geometry. My dear student, look at the first example. Determine whether the matrix A contains 3 rows and 3 columns. The first row 3, negative 1, 2, negative 1, 2, 1, 1, 0, negative 1 has multiplicative inverse or not. My dear student, we know that if the matrix it's determined equals 0, then we deduce that the matrix has no multiplicative inverse. This rule, this matrix, if we prove that the matrix has multiplicative inverse, we must prove determinant of the matrix cannot equal 0. Look at, my dear student, determinant of A. How to find determinant of A? There is more methods, by using calculator, by using first row, second row, third row, first column, second column, third column. Properties of determinant, we have 9 properties of determinant to calculate the value of determinant, or by using diagonals method. Then 3 times minor determinant 2, 1, 0, negative 1 minus negative 1 multiply minor determinant negative 1, 1, 1, negative 1 plus 2 multiply minor determinant. The value of A equals what? Negative 10. What do you mean? The determinant not equal 0, determinant value not equal 0, then the matrix has multiplicative inverse. This rule, if determinant of matrix not equal 0, then we deduce that the matrix has multiplicative inverse. But if the determinant equals 0, then the matrix has no multiplicative inverse. Therefore, matrix A has multiplicative inverse. It's called non-singular matrix. Look at another example. Expand using the factors of second row. Remember, my dear student, this example determined by using second row. What is the second row? Negative 2, 4, 3. How to expand? By using second row in this determinant. Let's use second row, negative 2 times its minor. What is the minor determinant of negative 2? We cancel the row and column of negative 2. The remainder minor, 0, negative 2, negative 1, 5. Plus 4, multiply minor determinant, negative 3, multiply minor determinant. Then we deduce the determinant by using the second row equals what? 43. If we use the first row, the value change, not change. The first column, not change. By any method, the value of determinant must be equals 43. Another example. Find with respect to expansion of x minus 3 over 2x squared for all power 12 coefficient of x power 6. It's number 1. The order of term free of x. This is number 2. Remember, my dear student, general term is tr plus 1 equals 12 cr. Second term power r. First term power 12 minus r. Again, this general term tr plus 1 ncr. Second term power r. First term power n minus r. In this case, n equals 12. Therefore, tr plus 1, 12 cr, multiply second term by or power r, first term power 12 minus r. By using separation, we can separate 12 cr multiply 3 power r, 2 power negative r, x power negative 2r times x power 12 minus r. We can make like terms. We have x power negative 2r times x power 12 minus r. Then x for all 12 minus 3r. X for all 12 minus 3r. This is the value of x. General term. To get the term of contains x power 6, we put x power 12 minus 3r equal x power 6, or the power 12 minus 3r equals 6. 12 minus 3r equals 6. What is the value of r? It is easy to find the value of r. 3r equals 6. Therefore, r equals 2. Then the term is T3. What is the value of T3? By using polynomial CM12C2 and by substitution about r equals 2. Then T3 or coefficient of x power 6 by using calculator 12C2 times 3 power 2 times 2 power negative 2, answer is 297 over 2. This is called coefficient of x power 6. To get term free of x. What you mean free of x? Free of x, my dear student, means x for all power 0. We put or let 12 minus 3r equals 0. What you mean 3r equals 12, r equals 4, r equals 4, then the term free of x is T5. Why? R, when r equals 4, the term is 5. Why? Because the general term tr plus 1, r plus 1. In this case, r equals 4. Then the term free of x must be T5. The order is T5. Look at, my dear student, another example. We know that omega is one root of unity. Omega plus 1 plus omega square equals 0. 1 plus omega square equals 0. Look at what is the product when multiply bracket contains 3 plus 7 omega plus omega square multiply 3 minus 7 omega square plus 3 omega equals what? Choose the correct answer. Number 1, negative 4. Number 2, 4. Number 3, negative 40. Number 4, 14. My dear student, if we can put 3 omega power 3, omega power 3 equals 1. Remember, omega power 3 equals 1. 1 plus omega equals negative omega square. 1 plus omega square equals negative omega. Omega plus omega square equals negative 1. Remember, these rules very important. If we look at the first term, 3, we can put 3 omega power 3. Why? Because we can take omega power 2 common, then the first term and third term is 3 omega plus 1. 3 omega plus 1. And by the same method in the second bracket. Look at, my dear student, this rule. 1 plus omega square equals 0. Therefore, we can put 3 times 1 plus omega square plus 7 omega. By the same method, in second bracket, 3 times 1 plus omega inside bracket minus 7 omega square. 1 plus omega square equals negative omega. 1 plus omega negative omega square. The first bracket, 1 plus omega square is negative omega. Then 3 omega. Negative 3 omega. Plus 7 omega, 4 omega. In second bracket, small bracket, 1 plus omega negative omega square. 3 multiply negative omega square, negative 10 omega square, negative 3, negative 7. Therefore, my dear student, the first bracket, negative 3 omega plus 7 omega multiply negative 3 omega square, negative 7 omega square. The first bracket, 4 omega. Second bracket, negative 10 omega power 2. Therefore, answer is negative 40. Why? Because omega times omega power 2, omega power 3. Therefore, my dear student, answer is negative 40. Why? Because omega power 3 equals 1. Then the correct answer is negative 40. Look at, my dear student, another example. We have determined log 3 for base 2. 3, 9. This first row. Second row, 0. Log 5 for base 3, 7. Third row, 0, 0. Log x for base 3. This is the value of determinant equals 4 from given. What is the value of x. Choose the correct answer. 16, 32, 64, or 128. My dear student, look at the determinant. We know that this determinant must be equals product of elements of the mean diagonal. What is the mean diagonal elements? Log 3, 2, log 5 for base 3, log x for base 3. Therefore, we deduce that log 3 for base 2 times log 5 for base 3 times log x for base 3 must be equal to 4. This the value of determinant of left hand side. Look at solution. This value equals log 3 for base 2 times log 5 for base 3 times log x for base 3 equals 4. Then from the previous studies, from logarithm rule, log 3 base 2 equals log 3 over log 2. Log 5 for base 3 equal log 5 over log 3. Log x for base 3 equal log x over log 3. This left hand side equal right hand side is 4. Then we deduce that log 3 over log 2 times log 5 over log 3 times log x over log 5 equals right hand side equals 4. By cancellation, log 5 with log 5, log 3 over log 4. Then we deduce that left hand side log x over log 2 equals 4. Then log x equals 4 log 2. Log x equals 4 multiply log 2. What do you mean? What is the value of x? In this case, my dear student, 4 log 2 equals log 2 for all power 4. From properties of logarithm rule, 4 log 2 it's same log 2 for all power 4. Look at log 2 for all power 4. Therefore, my dear student, x equals 16. The correct answer 4 power 2 answer is 16. My dear student, we know that there is difference between direction cosine and direction angle. Direction cosine, we know that any vector, a vector, we can represent by norm a vector multiply cosine theta x, cosine theta y, cosine theta z. Also, cosine theta x, cosine theta y, cosine theta z, it's called direction cosine. If we have vector A and the required direction cosine, as a first we find the value or norm of a vector. What is the norm of a vector? Length of the vector by using square root. x1 power 2 plus y1 power 2 plus z1 power 2 is the norm under square root, norm of a. After that we divided vector A over norm of the vector A. This means directions cosine. But directions angle, if we have direction cosine, cosine theta x equals 1 over 2. Then theta x equals shift cosine 1 over 2 equals 60, and so on. My dear student, look at important example. The direction cosines of vector 2, negative 2, 2 are, choose the correct answer, 2, negative 4, 4, 1, negative 2, 2, third, negative 2 third, 2 third, third, 2 third, 2 third. Remember, my dear student, this is very nearly 1, 2, 3, 4. But before we choose the correct answer, we can satisfy what is the direction cosine. As the first, we find the norm of the vector by using square root 2 square plus negative 2 square plus 2 square equals what? 4 plus 4 plus 4 root 12. After that, we divided each 4, 2 by divided each component to the value of what? Of the norm. Unit vector, the vector over norm. 2, negative 4, 4 over square root 2 square plus negative 4 power 2 plus 4 power 2 square root 16 equals 6 in denominator. Then unit vector A in direction A, 2, negative 4, 2 over 6. We can divide it each term or each component by 6. 2 over 6, 1 third. Negative 4 over 6, negative 2 third. 2 over 6 equals 1 third. Therefore, correct answer number 3. Another example. Length of perpendicular drawn from negative 2, negative 3, 1, 2 x-axis equals what? 10, 2, 100, root 10. My dear student, length of perpendicular drawn from point to x-axis equals square root y squared component plus z squared. Therefore, my dear student, length equals square root component of y squared plus component of z squared equals root 10. Then the correct answer is root 10. Remember, my dear students, there is difference between length of perpendicular drawn from to x-axis and to xy plane. Remember, xy plane, the distance is 1. xz plane distance is 3 units. yz plane, the distance is 2. But in this example, the required length of perpendicular drawn from point to x-axis. To x-axis, we have rule, square root y squared plus z squared. Negative 3 power 2 plus 1 power 2. If the length of perpendicular from this point and y-axis, x and 7 square root negative 2 power 2 plus 1 power 2. If the length, the required length of perpendicular from this point and z-axis is square root negative 2 power 2 plus negative 3 power 2 equals root 13. But in this example, the required length of perpendicular drawn from the point negative 2, negative 3, 1 and x-axis. We can find the length by using the rule square root y squared plus z squared negative 3 power 2, 9, 1 power 2, 1. The answer is root 10. Dear student, by the end of the lesson, I am very happy to spend such time with you. Don't forget, math symbol, think, work, produce. Thank you. Goodbye.